Hello everyone and welcome. This is ECW. Well, what an evening we had at Elimination Chamber. It was one to remember for the ages. It was a pay-per-view like no other. And it was an evening for this man like no other. He headed into the chamber at the very start. He nicknamed himself Johnny Chamber. And he almost went all the way. He may not have won the ECW Championship, but he won the hearts, the minds, and the adoration of the ECW crowd. Johnny Wrestling comes towards the ring right now. Not in action here this evening, but rather he had something to say right at the start of the show. He had to get it off his chest. Typical Johnny Gargano, always wanted to start apparently. It was, that the moment for Johnny Gargano might be one that he never forgets. It was just everything, all the stars aligned, everything came together, but it wasn't enough for him. And he knows that deep down. Let's be honest, if there's one thing that Johnny Gargano doesn't have to do, I think it's apologize. After that showing, no need to be sorry for anything. But he ain't giving up at least. Doesn't know when his next chance will be at that title, but he wants to make it count. Johnny Gargano, the next time of asking. He wants to be Johnny Champion. He wants to... That can only mean one thing. The greatest of all time is here. Talk about a bit of mutual respect there. Rollins realizing the performance of Gargano. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Seth Rollins puts out the challenge to Johnny Gargano. And it goes without saying, Johnny Wrestling accepts. We are on for SummerSlam. He didn't know a moment ago when his next chance would be. Well, here it is. Gargano will face Rollins for the title in Brooklyn. Oh, here we go. The jaw-jacking begins. Rollins wants to tell Gargano that he'll be the reason why he makes 2 years as ECW champion. And Gargano certainly doesn't agree with that. Very quickly, these two men went from respecting one another to the trash talking. Johnny Failure being brought into the namesake now of Gargano. Fair play to him, he ain't backing down from anything. Have to admire that from Gargano. He will not back down. He calls it an honor, but he ain't backing down, and neither is Rollins. The champion's coming towards the ring. Gargano said if you wanted to do something about it, you could do it right now. Rollins in the ring, and these two men who will meet at SummerSlam for the ECW title. The first stare down of many on the road to Brooklyn. What a way to start off this evening, ladies and gentlemen. SummerSlam already made. Rollins versus Gargano to come up then. But as for tonight's main event, John Cena and Kofi Kingston for the ECW Television title. What a main event we've got lined up. And what a way we have to kick off the show as well. He made his return at the Elimination Chamber. It was a spoiled return at that, courtesy of Zack Gibson, but he still made his return apparent. Rey Mysterio, not a one-time deal, back in this universe and on ECW. Cruiserweight Championship Elimination Chamber match was one to remember. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Everyone in that match gave it their all, but Zack Gibson played an almighty spoiler in that contest towards Rey Mysterio. A hammerlock DDT into the chamber floor, and Mysterio was eliminated first. Gibson went on all the way to the final two with Buddy Murphy, but he succumbed to Murphy's Law. And as a result of that, we have a new Cruiserweight Champion. But as for this evening, it is about retribution for Rey Mysterio. That's what matters to him the most. He wants his opportunity to get payback for the failures at Elimination Chamber. Rey Mysterio said it. There was no other way to describe it. It was a failure. He headed into there with all the surprise built up around him, and then he dropped the ball. He said that was not the way that things could be done after the show went off the air. He asked for this opportunity. I agreed. And here we are now with his opportunity against Gibson. Talk about a huge chance for this man as well, though. Zack Gibson has an opportunity to strike twice on Rey Mysterio to really shut up the veteran of the Cruiserweights and put him in his place, really. It wasn't the best night for the British Empire. 0-3 they went on the evening. Haven't seen Neville since before Elimination Chamber, but I can't imagine the leader of the Empire was feeling all too thrilled about what happened. What I do know is that Zack Gibson is looking to rebound here tonight. He had a great showing in the chamber, though, with 2 eliminations. First with an elimination over Rey Mysterio, of course, then going on to eliminate Austin Aries. And Gibson was, Gargano said at the top of the evening, Gibson was much in the same. He was one move short as well. One missed helter-skelter. And it was Murphy's Law that connected. We will be hearing from the Cruiserweight Champion later on this evening as well. But as for right now, Rey Mysterio's return continues on. First match on ECW. Maybe in this universe's history. I'm not 100% certain. But look at this. Gibson wanting nothing to do with him right now. Getting out of the ring. Jaw-jacking with the crowd. Rey wants the opportunity to fight them right now. And Gibson trying to get under his skin. Rey maybe trying to psych out Gibson for a moment there by threatening to take flight. Gibson will take his time, though, on the outside. As long as he likes, but watch out. Here comes Mysterio. Drop kick. Gibson turned his back, and Rey had had enough of waiting for his opportunity, and he pounced on it. And so here we go now between these two men. The action underway on ECW. Big evening coming our way. Plenty of fallout to discuss from the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. We've already seen some huge news made. Seth Rollins versus Johnny Gargano for the ECW Championship at SummerSlam. That is going to be a huge match between one man who has been ECW champion for over 700 days and one man who many, including Rollins himself, say should have been the ECW champion after Elimination Chamber. Everything that Rollins said in that moment was right. The only reason, because I said it as well at the Elimination Chamber, the only reason Johnny Gargano isn't the ECW champion is because Seth Rollins exists. Seth Rollins was in that chamber right at the end. If it was anyone else, Gargano would have hit that crossbody off the top of the pod, locked in Gargano escape, and the place would have gone mental. But it wasn't the case. He missed it. And a curb stomp rained down. And now he heads for the big one, does Seth Rollins. If he wins at SummerSlam, it is 2 years as ECW champion. I believe it'll be, when we head into SummerSlam, the day will be around 728, that region. All he has to do is win. And can ECW, he'll be past 2 years. It's all he has to do. But that is a topic for another time, even though I would love to talk about it over and over again. There is so much action to discuss here on ECW that we don't really have the chance to. Gibson unloading away on Mysterio, still plenty to come here. The King of the Ring, Aleister Black, is in action this evening. Alongside one half of the new ECW Tag Team Champions in Rowan. We know John Cena is going to be here this evening, of course. Randy Orton and Tyler Bate will do battle as well. They shaped up their match as a result of some jaw-jacking backstage for the Elimination Chamber matchup itself. But as for right now, we focus on what happened in the chamber that led to this match. Dropkick attempt there by Gibson. Misses it. Can Mysterio capitalize here? Look at some of the names in the Cruiserweight division now, you know. Buddy Murphy, of course, at the top. You also look at Rey. You look at Rey Mysterio, Mustafa Ali, Kushida, Gibson, Aries. Even those who didn't get into the chamber, guys like Cedric Alexander. This division is getting more and more stacked, I believe. Look out, though. Gibson, hammerlock DDT to Mysterio. The very move that eliminated him from the chamber. Gibson expressing his anger right now at the fact that he hasn't put away Mysterio. And he could look to put him away any minute, really. He could look for Helter Skelter and end the evening for Rey. And he's going to look for it right now. Gibson in position, seeking it. Helter Skelter, no! Mysterio counters. To the top rope he goes now. Rey Mysterio up high. Leg drop from the top rope down on Gibson. He hoists him back up to his feet. The crowd on their feet as well, because he's about to dial it up for the first time in a long time. 619 from Mysterio. Lies in wait. Gets a second breath of energy and comes down with a frog splash on Gibson. Cover made. Rey Mysterio wins it. Back with a bang. Back with vengeance. Rey Mysterio wins on ECW. Gibson got the win in the chamber. Mysterio got the win where it counts, though. And a big win for the little man. Well, a big message sent by Bray Wyatt there towards this man and to the DCC. But it is downfall and the Wyatt family will focus on right now. That may have been the first time we've ever seen the Wyatt compound in this universe as well. What a dejected place it looks to be. Here towards the ring though comes Rowan. Himself and Harper connected with the reckoning on Baron Corbin at the Elimination Chamber and left with the ECW Tag Team titles for the second time. However, the moment that they were celebrating their victory was taken away from them. That Wyatt graphic we just saw came up when the lights came back on in the arena. Harper and Rowan were down. Bray Wyatt was standing on the stage, or kneeling on the stage rather. Still doesn't change the fact that Harper and Rowan have claimed those tag team titles once again, but it was the first time we had seen Bray Wyatt since Money in the Bank, since Strowman and Black lost the titles. And that was a very weird visual to see. We now know why Wyatt did what he did. He wants those titles back. He wants the Wyatt family to be the most dominant force in the ECW Tag Team division. He said about not groups that he gave life to, not people who he gave life to. By that he means Harper and Rowan. But I wonder how this sits with the now former Tag Team Champions in the DCC. Be an interesting sight to see what Sabin and Co have to make of that from Bray Wyatt. And as he makes his way towards the ring, the same rules as they have been for the last few weeks on this when it comes to these matches. No member of Downfall at ringside, no member of the Wyatt family at ringside, and of course, when they're in action, no member of the DCC at ringside as well, because we know how quickly things can fall apart when they are at ringside. This man, though, doesn't really need guys at ringside. He walked into Korakuen Hall in February and left as the king of the ring. Aleister Black may well be working for the Wyatt family right now, may well be following his services and doing what he needs, but I guarantee you, when the calling comes his way, he will ditch all that, and we could be looking at a future ECW champion. People discuss who the hell is left for Rollins to face. I mean, yes, him and Gargano are set for SummerSlam, but if he makes it past Gargano, who is there left for him? There he is. Aleister Black has not had his shot at the ECW title. You look at the list of names that have fallen to Rollins. Adam Cole, Triple H, Tyler Bate, Randy Orton, Shibata, McIntyre, Neville, Gargano, Kenny Omega. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Aleister Black is nowhere to be found on that list. And I guarantee you, if they were locked in the ring with one another, Rollins would be in for one of the tests of his life. He's fought a lot of people, but I don't think he's ever fought someone quite like Aleister Black. Right now, though, Black's intentions seem to be whatever Bray Wyatt dictates, and that right now is heading back towards those tag team titles. Bell rings and we're underway. Maybe an uphill struggle for Aleister Black here as he locks horns with a man much taller and much heavier than him in Rowan. If there is a chance to make something happen, and if there is a person who can make something happen, Aleister Black would be that guy. Something that is key for Bray Wyatt now is really for Black to deliver on the message about taking back those tag team titles, to head into that ring right now, to connect with an almighty black mass and remind everyone just who the Wyatt family are. So let's see what will happen now. Here goes Aleister Black unloading away with his strikes, takes down Rowan off his feet there with that kick in the chest. Here we go, this is what Aleister Black can do, this is what can make him so dangerous. When he just starts to get going, when he starts to put those strikes together, you know you're in trouble at that moment, because no one strikes quite like Aleister Black. Big sidewalk slam there, but Black quick up to his feet. There were doubts, especially on my behalf, over the performance of Rowan at Elimination Chamber. He seemed a little off it. It seemed like it was a lot of Harper's work that led to the victory. I mean, I know it was Rowan who counted the end of days, made the tag into Harper, and then they connected with the Reckoning. But Rowan just felt a little bit off compared to the rest of that contest, and this could be a great opportunity for him to get his confidence back, maybe, if Downfall need confidence. Big knee in the face there, though, from Harper, connecting big on Aleister Black. Now Boston Crab locked in here, looking for a tap out to the king of the ring. Man who I believe has only been pinned once since he won that accolade back in February, and that was to Apollo Crews. No, sorry, well, once through Fairly Legit Man, as the other time I think was to Baron Corbin. No, it was to Chris Sabin through the interference of Baron Corbin. Black's record, though, still pretty damn strong, following up from King of the Ring. Former tag team champion, of course, former television champion. Finds himself in the same position as Neville, where the only title that he hasn't won on ECW that he can win is the ECW title. Look out, big kick in the chest there. Aleister Black will go up to the top rope. Watch out what he can do from up high. Moonsault! Big counter from Rowan. Nasty impact for Black to endure there. Rowan could have something big up in his sleeve. What are we going to see? Look at the strength. Huge choke slam from Rowan. My goodness, that could do it on Aleister Black. No! Kick out of two, but my God. That had to be 7 foot up in the air. And they're driven down in the mat by Rowan's force. Lethal. Big counter made by Black there. Man isn't giving up though. Certainly can't. Fought 3 matches in one night to prove that he can't give up. Black now goes back up to the top rope. Even after that choke slam, he finds himself recovering. Double foot stomp there. Connects on Rowan. Scoots over into the cover. Looking to put him away here. Will he have done the deed? Wow, only a 1 count. Rowan really has found his edge after the Elimination Chamber match. He's really woken up a little bit, and that's a good thing to see. Look at that strength from the man now. Harper and Wolf, wherever they're watching from, are going to be proud to see what Rowan's doing. A barrage of headbutts raining down on the head of the king of the ring. And a huge splash comes into play as well. Cover made. Will this do it? Oh, 2.5. Rowan comes close again to putting away Aleister Black, but all it takes is one calling. Huge high kick there from Aleister Black. Double foot stop now. Black's done to put the pieces together. Here we go. Moonsault on the second rope. So pinpoint. And now he will apply the finishing blow. He will apply the Black Mass. Almost kicks Rowan's head off with it. Aleister Black is victorious. Black wins it this evening. The Wyatt family's message being well represented. The mark of the DCC is struck. Rowan and Black down in the ring. Plenty to take on board in that moment, ladies and gentlemen. Rowan and Black down in the ring, and then Buddy Murphy with his piece to say on becoming the Cruiserweight Champion. No longer is he the best kept secret, he is the best damn thing. So he calls himself. Well, one man who didn't have a best damn feeling after the Elimination Chamber would have certainly been the man who we just briefly saw in the ring, in Brian Kendrick. First losing to the Horsemen after trying everything they could to get some kind of a scrap with them, a dirty fight with them, and they ended up losing. And then after that, Rusev kicking the head off of Kendrick and then locking him in the accolades. Definitely had no intentions, shall we say, of keeping things going with Kendrick anymore. That partnership seems to be pretty dead in the water. And meanwhile, in the ring is Shibata, the wrestler. Right away wanted to get back in action this evening after his chamber performance, which he said was below average. He said it wasn't worth it. for all the training he put in, for all the hours he spent prepping for that chamber, and he said he didn't do anything. Shibata was ultimately very disappointed with himself, and he says the only way he's going to get back to that kind of level, to that kind of confidence once again, is to just fight week in and week out. And right now, he's got, I'd say, a little bit of an easy fight ahead of him in Brian Kendrick. The confidence of Kendrick must have been heavily knocked following up from Elimination Chamber, and I imagine he can't be feeling too great after being locked in the accolade as well. Certainly seems as if greatness reached its peak, shall we say. Or its trough, Elimination Chamber, whichever way you want to view it. Right now, though, things are definitely not going to go too well for Brian Kendrick in this one. He's in the ring with a frustrated Shibata, and a frustrated Shibata is probably as close to Minoru Suzuki as you can get without being in the ring with Minoru Suzuki. Oh, there's another one. I guess if Shibata wants to fight someone, yeah, he can fight Suzuki. Why not? They fought before. They can tear each other's heads off again. It'll be fun. Shibata looking to unload with some kick show on Kendrick. He comes up with a counter, looks for a forearm. Counter made from Shibata. Pele kick! Shibata, of course, not the only member of the Elimination Chamber in action. Coming up next, Randy Orton and Tyler Bate will clash with one another. Something that they wanted before the Elimination Chamber bout, when Orton went on to eliminate Bate and eliminate him first from that chamber as well. It was a very surprising elimination for Bate, and I can't imagine how frustrated he must have been. You heard Gargano say it earlier on in the evening. I understand why people kind of get the bug about wanting to go after the ECW title, about wanting to be the one to dethrone Rollins. Tyler Bate is heavily infatuated with that, and look where it got him. Out first after living dangerously on Money in the Bank, and that was the best that he had. It's not good. It's not good enough from Tyler Bate. Kendrick here coming back. Nice kick in the gut there. Look out. Now takes him into the turnbuckle. Shibata, though, comes up with a counter. And the kicks can keep on raining in. I don't know if that's the chest or the jaw of the Brian Kendrick. But this is all about Shibata right now, and that's to the surprise of no one. Really just to find Shibata's edge once again. Sleeper hold locked in, and look who has an eye on it backstage. Rusev watching on right now as he watches his now former tag team partner being decimated and about to be finished off. PK! It's over. Cover made. Shibata has won it. Yep. Things are not looking good for Kendrick, are they? Well, Rusev definitely made the right decision, and if in making the decision he managed to ruin Kendrick even more, it's a bit of a shame, really. Shibata, though, back with a win. Not going to be one that he's proud of. Shibata will want more fights, and I guarantee there will be plenty of people lined up on ECW who will be all the more welcome with giving him one. But right now we move on to a little bit of a grudge match. Before the Elimination Chamber even started, these two men bumped into one another backstage. Randy Orton calling Tyler Bate a pissant and saying that he didn't belong in a man's game. And I would say Orton really went on to prove his point by eliminating Tyler Bate first, and RKO on the outside eliminated him, and Orton really had a standout chamber to remember for the Viper. It was a phenomenal showing from Randy Orton. I have no problem admitting that. He took out Bate, who could have been one of the final two for all we know, and then he went on and took out McIntyre, who many, myself included, believed out of all the contenders was the favorite. And he did that with a crimson mask like no other in that chamber, before succumbing to the Gargano escape. But that doesn't change the fact that Tyler Bate and Randy Orton still have unfinished business. As they said, it doesn't matter what happens in the chamber, it doesn't matter who meets who could leave with ECW Championship out of them two. They will do battle within ECW's confines, and that is exactly what is coming our way this evening. Randy Orton, once again, falling short of his promise, said it was inevitable he would leave. I'll say, yeah, he came close, but close isn't inevitable, is it? It's not Randy Orton who got challenged by Seth Rollins for a match at SummerSlam. No, it was Johnny Gargano. But an opportunity presents itself here for Randy Orton and Tyler Bate to maybe get themselves in for the talking after SummerSlam now. I mean, Orton, you know, he's had his opportunity, of course, in the Elimination Chamber, but he has not had a one-on-one match with Seth Rollins. And the honest truth is, if he wins here tonight, if Rollins retains at SummerSlam, I'd say that sets up the title match. Absolutely, in my mind. If Randy Orton can be the guy who Seth Rollins is yet to pin twice in a week, I think that says that Randy Orton might well be the man next in line for the title, regardless of who wins out of Rollins or Bate, or Gargano, sorry. Tyler Bate, of course, is infatuated with the ECW Championship. He must have been kicking his seat when Rollins challenged Gargano, because you know all he craves is it to be him. All he wants is another shot at that title. He needs it more than anything else. He said it himself at the ECW before the Elimination Chamber. He is desperate for that title. He wants to be in the ring. All he wants is to be the one to beat Rollins. And he still has a fair claim to the title. Like I said, Rollins hasn't pinned him, but everything could change after SummerSlam. Let's not discount the fact, and I'm certainly not going to discount Johnny Gargano, that once the dust settles at SummerSlam, Tyler Bate's hopes and dreams could be dashed to being the one to beat Rollins, because Johnny Gargano could very well be the ECW champion. Anything can happen. Look at the size difference between these two now as the chants get going for Orton here in Atlanta. Big back body dropped off from that attempted powerbomb for Orton way too early on to hope for such strength there. Orton wanted to put this away early, looked for a roll-up on Bate there. Wonder what must be going through the mind of both men, though, you know. Seeing Johnny Gargano getting that opportunity for SummerSlam and maybe thinking that they want to be that guy. They want to be the one to headline SummerSlam, because make no mistake about it, if you're at SummerSlam against a guy named Seth Rollins and the ECW title is on the line, I think it kind of says, I think the writing is fairly on the wall what the main event of the evening is going to be. Orton and Bate would have liked that opportunity, they would have craved it, but in all honesty, Orton, although he had a really good chamber, his chamber performance wasn't really remembered. Bate's performance definitely wasn't remembered. There were only two men worth talking about after that Elimination Chamber. And even though that Elimination Chamber match was undoubtedly amazing, one of the matches of the year without a shadow of a doubt, it was Johnny Gargano and Seth Rollins who left that chamber having all the talking points. Rightfully so as well. So these two guys just have a grudge to settle now. Maybe a future shot is open for them down the line, but the grudge is being settled here. If Orton beats Bate, that is really going to derail Tyler Bate and his hopes of another chance for the ECW title, and maybe, just maybe, another crack at Rollins. If Bate beats Orton here, maybe we'll need a decider between the two. Chance for them to run their mouths a little bit more at one another. We'll see how things will go about that one. In the corner now we go. Orton setting up Bate for something big. If we've seen Orton's moves before, we can have a pretty good estimation of what this is going to be right out of the old move. Right out of a vintage Orton playbook. But an added twist to it from the second rope. Orton now will stop down on the limbs of Tyler Bate, breaking him down, beating him apart piece by piece, into the chest and into the head to finish it off there. Randy Orton thinks he has finished off Tyler Bate, looks for the cover here and gets two. Orton off to a dominating start in this contest, though. Bate in trouble here. Up and over to the outside goes Orton. Tyler Bate in the ring right now, feeling a little bit more confident, starting to try and regain himself, maybe find his edge a little bit as Orton recovers on the outside here. Bate backing up, allowing Orton back in the ring. Nice little bit of respect showing, but Orton comes back in the ring with not that much respect to show towards Tyler Bate, that's for certain. In the corner we go again. Big clothesline for Orton, got all of it. Randy Orton's power advantage just feeding him in here, giving him what he needs to control Tyler Bate, but Bate fighting back here, the former NXT champion, finding another edge to him. Nice drop kick there, really extended to get all of it. Gets another one here on Orton now. Cross bodies on Randy as well. Tyler Bate firing himself up. Can never discount the youngster. Always finds an edge. 450, no! Went for a huge risk and it didn't pay off. Big clothesline from Orton. Takes down Bate. And now he will pound the mat. The Viper will look to strike again. RKO, no! Bate counters it. Bate counters the RKO. Roll up, looking to try and steal one here. He rolls up Orton. Referee's in to count. Tyler Bate got him! Bate with a quick one over Orton. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the win, but just that you get it, and Bate most certainly did. Tyler Bate victorious. Orton is furious. These two men may well need a decider between the pairing. The grudge will carry on. Ooh, a big match set for next week. McIntyre not pleased with the news earlier this evening. That is for then. This is now. Coming up next, our main event of the evening, John Cena and Kofi Kingston with the ECW Television title on the line. Cena looking to make an impact straight away as the champion. But could he pay for it? What an evening we've had here at ECW. SummerSlam's main event is pretty much already in the books. Rollins and Gargano for the ECW title. DCC, Downfall, and the Wyatt family all getting invested with one another. And Tyler Bate just there getting a quick win over Randy Orton to keep their grudge going. Big opportunity for this man right now though. Kofi Kingston to face Cena for the television title. And this comes after what we saw last week on ECW. Remember, Cena had to find a tag team partner to take on the clock with ProJaked to ensure that they were banned from ringside for the title match at Elimination Chamber. He called upon Kofi. Kofi came in, and they won. And that's how this match came about. Cena, after winning the title, once the pay-per-view went off the air, Cena said he wanted to reward Kofi for what he did, for helping him out. He said that in many ways, he wouldn't have been able to win the title without Kofi. And so he wanted to reward him with a title opportunity. And that is exactly what comes our way this evening for Kofi Kingston. And here comes the man who certainly got a happy reaction from me for the Elimination Chamber. The new ECW Television Champion, Cena, is here. Oh man, I said it at the moment and I still stand by it. I had nothing to do with what happened in that match. Absolutely nothing. I was in the commentary booth while they were talking about it backstage. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to say I loved every moment of it, because I did. The Clockwork Project tried to play the same dirty games. They were banned from ringside and Callahan still tried to get himself involved. If that batter hit Cena, Corin would still be the champion. Cena stopped it. AA to Callahan with the referee focused on Cena and Callahan on the outside. Angle sweeps into the ring. Angle slam to Corin. By the time Corin finds where he is, he's out on his feet. Attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. John Cena is the ECW Television Champion. And that title, for the first time since before WrestleMania, has a champion that it can be proud of. But will it only be for one moment and one moment only? Could Cena, in his desire to repay Kofi Kingston here, cost himself the ECW Television Championship? There is every likelihood that could happen. Kofi Kingston wants to make the most of its opportunity, and he can certainly do that here tonight. It is a big main event. 3 title matches in a row this week. What a week it has been as we strap ourselves now firmly towards Brooklyn and SummerSlam. August 18th is the date for the biggest fight of the summer. Kofi Kingston would love to walk into it as the ECW Television Champion. But I think, title or not, this guy knows that there is unfinished business between himself and Corin. And maybe, just maybe, Cena would love to keep his hands on that title, despite Corin a little bit more. The champion in this contest. The defending champion as well. Cena ready to go in this one. Focused as well as Kofi is. I haven't seen the Clockwork Project this evening. I hope it stays that way so we can get a great main event. There has been some controversy. There has been some outside factors in the women's main events, in the women's title matches this week. Hopefully with this one we just get a straight match down the middle between 2 guys who have great respect for each other and a title that I have great respect for. Kofi Kingston, John Cena, ECW Television title on the line. Here we go. Crowd siding more towards Kofi as the matchup gets underway here. Colin Edward tie between these 2 men will get us underway. Let's see what will happen here. Kingston, the lighter of the 2. Cena, of course, in that 240, 245, 250 region even. Fluctuate for Cena, which is spectacular for a man of his size. Kofi more so dialed in about 210 range, I would say. This now, leg lock in here by Cena. Well, every day we see that from John Cena. Kingston able to snap back into that side headlock here. Let's see how this one will go. Up to their feet they're going. Cena looking to fight out of it. Oh, in the clinch. Kofi gets off a big knee there on the face of the champion. And here we go now. See what will happen here. Corner punches incoming from Kofi Kingston. Raining down early on the champion. Wanting to make an impact on Cena early. Pushed away though by Cena at the count of 6, I believe it was. Irish whip up and over the top rope goes Kingston now. Counter made by the challenger. Nice forearm. Cross body back into the ring. Takes down Cena. Good start here. Fired up start from Kofi Kingston. Cover made, kick out. Let's see what these 2 men can come up with here. Kingston, early submission attempt now on Cena. Look at that. Trying to stretch that arm straight really. The moment he does, Cena has to tap out, but not happening. Submission's not really a well-versed arsenal of Kofi Kingston, but he is able to maintain control in this match for a little bit longer. Maybe Cena is feeling the effects of that title match as well, because let's not forget, he took a rain killer to the outside. From the apron to the floor, he took that pile driver. And a clock strikes 12. Fighting champion is John Cena, but a hurt champion as well. You better believe he is. Guess that's the way the cookie crumbles, though. Cena wanted this, and he's going to get it right now. Big shoulder tackle from Cena. He may only be, I would say, Cena can't be any more than 70% after that match. Corin went into that match with the intent to hurt him, to beat him down, to injure him again. Didn't get what he wanted. But how much damage was done to Cena? Lovely DDT from Kofi. Covers him in the middle of the ring. Does this call for a new television champion? Another early kick out from Cena. And what will Cena have to do? How long will he have to exert himself in this contest in order to walk out with a victory? In order to leave still the ECW Television Champion? Is that going to be Kofi's opening? The fact that Cena is hurt. Big diving fist drop from Cena there. Told me after the pay-per-view when he hit the 5-knuckle shuffle on Corin hard enough to bust him up, and he said, oh, he put everything into that punch. He wanted Corin to bleed, and he wouldn't have cared if he knocked him out either. It was revenge for Angle and Cena. More so for Angle. He dedicated that whole match to Kurt Angle, who of course was retired by Corin. Look out though. Boom drop by Kofi. Call out to his brothers in the New Day. Could it lead him to the TV title? Another kick out of one. Cena making life awfully difficult for Kofi here. See what will happen now. Got him good with that shot. Kicks raining in now from Kingston. Counter made there by Cena. In the turnbuckle we go here. Big lariat from Cena. Lined up that one hard and got all of it. Hoisting up to his feet. Here we go. Kick now. Cena putting together some good strikes. Kingston reeling from them. In a bit of trouble here. This is going to be big. You already know it. Cena perching Kingston on the top rope. What kind of a risk will he take here? The champion may be hurt, but he knows he has to think big and act big if he wants to retain. Superplex to Kofi! Both men will feel the impact of it. Cena covers to retain that title right now. No! Kicks out. Kingston's still in it. And look at that. Up to his feet quickly as well. Kingston ain't backing down. Cena though. Here comes the innovative offense. Code Red. Will it be enough? Will it do it? Another 2 counts. Cena looks to strike. Misses. Trouble in paradise! All it took was one opening. And all of a sudden, we could have a new ECW Television Champion. Kingston has to drag him to the middle of the ring. He covers Cena. Shoulders are down. Count is made. Has he done it? No! 2.9. Kingston awestruck. He thought that was it. And I think a lot of people in Hotlanta believed it as well. Oh, moved out of the way at the last moment from that leg drop in Cena. Oh, he's now on, not really on borrowed time, but he really has to be counting his eggs in that basket because Cena is in deep trouble. Huge move from Kofi. It could well be the case if he didn't have to drag him away from the ropes. He could be the television champion right now. It was a split second. And it could have cost him. Kingston, though, willing to take a risk. Cena rolls to the outside. Kingston will fly. Oh, my God. Crashing and burning. Cena moved out of the way at the last possible moment again. Back in the ring we quickly come, and Cena now. We saw him take this risk at Chamber, and he's not afraid to do it again. Cena going to take an almighty risk here, calling Kingston up to his feet. Big time crossbody from the champion. But Kingston still won't say die. Great fight from Kingston in this one. Really taking it to the champion. Even if Cena's hurt, it's Kofi's initiative to capitalize on it. Oh, there's a beautiful double foot stomp. And here he goes again. Kingston in, looking for the boom drop. Once more, and he gets it. Kingston wants to put together a huge closing sequence to win this television title. He misses with the leg drop again. Cena out of the way much earlier than before. Kingston took a huge risk and it didn't pay off. Cena now with another superplex. Back superplex to Kofi. How much do you take out of yourself hitting it? Maybe enough to keep him down. Cena in. Attitude adjustment from Cena. Hooks the leg. John Cena retains the television title. A hard fight it was. Cena retains. Whoa. Trevor Lee is here. Trevor Lee on the apron. Lee and Cena staring down with one another. Wait a minute. Callahan. They were here after all. The Clockwork Project put the boots on Cena, and there's that son of a bitch himself, Corin, watching on. Oh, double underhook pile driver to Cena. A clockwork project planted the television champion, and Corin whining, complaining, bitching over his loss. The hell does he mean? What casualty of war? Wait a minute. Oh my god, he's got his hands on Kofi. He's got his hands on Kofi. What are you doing? What are you doing, you sick son of a... Oh no!